Welcome to this deep dive where we explore the powerful and often complex ideas that have shaped our world, decoding them into clear, actionable insights. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more relevant content. Today, we're diving into Viktor Frankl's monumental work, Man's Search for Meaning. It's just such a profound testament to the human spirit's ability to find purpose, even, in unimaginable suffering.
Absolutely. And Frankl himself, while he was a prominent psychiatrist from Vienna, he actually developed logotherapy.
Logotherapy, right.
Yeah, it's often described as the third Viennese school of psychotherapy. It builds on, but it's distinct from, say, Freud's focus on pleasure or Adler's focus on power. And his theories were so profoundly shaped by his own harrowing experiences that really gives his work incredible depth.
So our mission today, really, is to explore Frankl's insights, these lessons he learned from the depths of despair, and maybe most importantly, how you, listening right now, can apply some of this wisdom to your own life. Okay, so diving into Frankl's own story then. He spent 3 incredibly grim years in Auschwitz and other Nazi prisons.
Yeah.
His entire family, father, mother, brother, his wife, all perished there. He faced just unspeakable hunger, cold, brutality, stripped down to what he himself called naked existence.
And what's truly fascinating here from a psychological perspective is how that personal suffering directly led to his theory of logotherapy. It's this approach focused squarely on the will to meaning.
The will to meaning.
Exactly, which he saw as this core human drive. It contrasts so sharply with Freud's emphasis on, the will to pleasure.
And this is where it gets, incredibly powerful, I think. The book asks this profound question. How could anyone find meaning when literally every possession was lost, every value seemed destroyed, and death was just an hourly expectation? He famously quotes Nietzsche, doesn't he? He who has a why to live can bear with almost any how. It really boils down to finding that why.
Right. And if we step back a bit from just Frankl's personal ordeal, he observed these broader psychological patterns in the camps, too. The book describes so vividly that initial shock phase when a prisoner first arrives.
Like the selection process.
Exactly, like that horrific selection at Auschwitz, where an SS officer, just with a point of the finger, left or right, decided life or immediate death in the gas chambers. And then came the loss of what Frankl called the delusion of reprieve.
That sort of fading hope.
Yeah, that desperate, maybe dwindling hope that somehow things might get better, where they'd be spared. That was crushed pretty quickly.
And that psychological stripping away mirrored the physical, didn't it? Prisoners lost their clothes, shaved heads, given a number instead of a name. Every single material linked to their past life just gone.
Utterly dehumanizing.
And this led, Frankl said, to the second psychological phase, apathy. A kind of emotional death, really, where constant hunger, brutal beatings, they just became commonplace.
No.
And that term Muslim, tragically used for those prisoners who were so emaciated, so broken, essentially walking skeletons, seen as destined for the gas chambers. It's just chilling, complete dehumanization.
It really is. Which, it sort of begs the question, in conditions like that, designed to crush the human spirit, what could sustain people? Yeah. What did Frankl see?
Right.
He observed that even in the midst of this profound suffering, individuals could still find this inner freedom. He actually noted moments where prisoners found solace, maybe unexpectedly, in glimpses of nature's beauty, like a sunset seen through the barracks window, or even finding strength in, believe it or not, dark humor.
Dark humor, yeah, I remember reading that.
And sometimes meaning came from accepting a task, some kind of responsibility, whether it was comforting another prisoner or, like in his case, trying to mentally reconstruct his manuscript.
So translating this, these harrowing experiences, what are the lessons for us today? Frankl really believed that the ultimate human freedom, the last one, is the ability to choose one's attitude in a given set of circumstances. That's powerful.
Absolutely.
He describes how vivid memories, like thinking intensely about his wife, could provide this escape into an internal life. He realized, he said, that love is the ultimate and highest goal a human can aspire to.
And the book also shows how even really small things, tiny pleasures, an extra pea found in thin soup, managing to trade for a bit of tobacco could take on immense significance. It highlights what he called the relativity of suffering.
So it wasn't about avoiding the suffering.
No, not at all. It was often about choosing to be, in his words, worthy of their suffering. That choice, that inner stance, allowed many to somehow transcend their outward fate.
So Frankl's ultimate challenge to us then, it's that even when everything else is stripped away, our response, our search for meaning, that remains our own. Our last inviolable freedom. It's a profound call to personal agency, isn't it? No matter what's happening around us.
Exactly. His work is such a powerful reminder that yes, suffering is an unavoidable part of life. We can't escape it entirely. But the human spirit really does retain that freedom to choose its attitude, to find purpose. It proves meaning can be discovered even in the bleakest, most desolate circumstances.
So for you listening, maybe consider this provocative thought. When you face your own challenges, big or small, what why will you find or create to guide your how?